A lot of you are going to be disgusted with me for making this video because I am going to be insensitive, but you're going to understand why.
7 years of this cost me my mental health. The beard, the jewellery is about me, my recovery. In November 21, I had a major mental health crisis, anxiety and depression. I couldn't go on. Holding these tigers by the tail. Brexit, the way I've led rebellions, no one should have to do. And this is an important moment for me personally, because I can authentically say he's done it. And actually for the whole of Europe to move beyond this awful populism we've suffered.
That's Steve Baker blaming populism for his mental health issues. Here's another clip of Steve Baker.
Reports this morning that Paul Dacre, the former editor of the Daily Mail, a critic of the BBC, is Boris Johnson's top choice for the job of Ofcom chairman. Is that an appointment you'd welcome?
Of course it is, yes, I'd be delighted. And of course I'd like to see Charles Moore go in as chairman of the BBC.
Why would it be great news then?
Well, because they're Conservatives. I look forward to them perhaps being appointed and being a bit more conservative and pragmatic in what is reported.
And just for a bit of extra flavour, here's Steve Baker pointing to the German legal system, saying that because they thought that they could override EU law, that means that they've taken back control. And then me pointing out that the UK legal system decided that the UK Parliament could override EU law 20 years ago, proving that the entire motivation behind Brexit was based on a false premise. And his reaction was to block me. Brexit is what opened the door to populism in the UK because it gave the government a blank check to do whatever they want and call it the will of the people. Which is why Steve Baker had no problem proudly saying that he wanted the editor of the Daily Mail to be in charge of Ofcom, which regulates all UK TV media, specifically because the former editor of the Daily Mail would give it a conservative bias. And that's obviously okay because in his mind, whatever the Conservatives want is what the people want. He has been behind the wave of populism in the UK for the last 7 years. And now he's claiming to be a victim of it. But that man is still collecting an 84 grand paycheck as a member of parliament. Meanwhile, there are people in the UK that can't afford to heat their homes and feed their kids during the sharpest fall in living standards on record. Made worse by a Brexit that he brought about. I mean, if you follow me, you already know that I gave up my career to try and prevent the damage that people like him have done to the British people. And you know that I've had several mental health crises as a result of that. And it's not just me. I've met hundreds of campaigners whose mental health has been severely damaged by people like him. Now, I'm not here to play a game of whose suicidal thoughts are worse, but for him to go on TV and complain about his mental health as a result of the damage that he's done to the country is like invading a country and then complaining about the soldiers you lost.